Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true.
Man shot and injured in Maxfield Avenue drive-by. A man is nursing gunshot wounds following a drive-by shooting in Kingston 13 era on Tuesday. The incident occurred sometime in the morning at the intersection of Maxfield Whitfield and Barnes Avenue. Reporters counted more than 15 markers used to show the number of spent shells found on the scene. The condition of the injured man is not known at this time. RGD employees continue industrial action. Employees of the Registrar General Department (RGD) have continued industrial action, shutting down operations for a second straight day yesterday. Reporters understand that only a handful of workers turned up at some locations yesterday after they began a sick-out on Monday. It's understood that with the limited staff available, some offices facilitated the dispatching of certificates. Reporters further understand that 3 weddings that were scheduled for yesterday were accommodated. However, general service was not available at the 10 RGD locations island-wide. The workers have expressed frustration about how they are classified under the restructured public sector compensation system. They say this would make them worse off. Additionally, workers claim that they are not being compensated as staff employed to executive agencies. One worker says it was insulting that they are being paid lower than other workers in executive agencies, and this does not change under the new compensation scheme. Murders continue to trend downward. Jamaica continues to see a decline in murders compared to last year. According to the latest crime data from the Jamaica Constable Force (JCF), 179 murders were recorded as of Saturday, February 26. This is 61 fewer than the 240 recorded in the corresponding period in 2022. All divisions recorded murders, with St. James leading the tally of 23, followed by Kingston Western with 22. Meanwhile, there were also declines in rapes, robberies, and break-ins. Cases of rape declined by 47 from 90 to 43. Robberies went down by 61 from 163 to 102, while break-ins decreased by 6 from 142 to 136. Mighty God, it no nice. Wrecked motor vehicle parts, slippers, and shattered glass lay at the side of the Temple Hall main road in St. Andrew mid-morning on Monday, evidence of a nasty crash Sunday night that claimed the lives of 5 young men, leaving their relatives in deep shock. The fact that the 5 range in age from 17 to 24 years made the pain even more severe for their family members, whose screams had shattered the normal still night here in the rural St. Andrew community. I couldn't sleep because the wails and screams continued until 3 a.m. because family members kept coming to identify their loved ones, Bishop Dr. Carla Dunbar, who lives close to the main road where the crash occurred, told reporters. I live right here. My daughter and I heard the collision a little after 9 p.m. and were the first on the scene, so we called the police. It's an accident-prone area. This is not the first time an accident is happening, she said. Dr. Dunbar, who is a psychologist, said she'll be offering counseling to the bereaved relatives of the deceased, who are from border community in Lawrence Tavern, a few miles away from the crash scene. Police report that 20-year-old Tajay Murray, 18-year-old Anthony Fuller, 20-year-old Raheem Campbell, 24-year-old Jamie Merritt, and 17-year-old Romeo Moody were traveling on 3 motorcycles. Relatives and friends at the scene on Monday argued that the youngsters had swerved by avoiding patrol and crashed into an oncoming Toyota Hiace bus. The 5 youngsters died on the spot while the bus driver was taken to hospital. Police were unable to determine the veracity of the claim that the potholes played a role in the crash. However, investigators were seen examining skid marks on the road. One relative, who gave her name as Heinz Fields, repeatedly mentioned that 2 of the dead youngsters, Campbell and Moody, were her cousins. Mears and Fuller her nephews, and Murray her grandson. She told reporters that she was looking forward to them returning from a party they had attended at Stony Hill. Phillips said she had approached her grandson going to a small drink-up being held at the gate to their house, but he told her that a friend of his was having a party at Stony Hill which he wanted to support. "Me say, make sure you come back at the gate, and him say, yes, Grandma," Phillips related. However, later that night she received a video on her phone informing her of the crash. "Mighty God, nice," she said in a doleful tone. It's Saturday night, me and three of them sleeping in the one room, and them wake up Sunday morning say them a go fix and wash off the bikes, said Hines. A grand aunt of the young man, who gave her name as Valerie Phillips, shared that the other members of the family were too distraught to go to work and school. Me feel like me lost. When me here last night, I in my bed me day, and my granddaughter put on her clothes from work and still didn't go. The next one we get up out of the bed and all that is like them shock. Not even the other kids no go school, she said. A cousin who gave his name as Jaja said, I don't even know how to feel. Me and them grew up together and sleep in a one room. A family friend who gave his name only as James was equally distraught. This is madness. All five of the man them gone. This is not something easy to take. The amount of people faint from last night when we hear. You can't know exactly what happened, said James as he pointed to the vehicles driving on the opposite side of the road towards incoming traffic to avoid potholes. Another man added, if there wasn't any pothole, there wouldn't be an accident. It's not the first this is happening. Yesterday I was going to a funeral and the vehicle almost collided at the same place. I said it that if they don't fix these holes, somebody is going to die. Assistant Commissioner of Police Gary McKenzie, who heads the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, reiterated his appeal to motorists to drive carefully. The police continuously issue safety tips and appeal to road users to drive within the speed limit, exercise due care for other road users, and especially for motorcyclists and their pillions to be equipped and to utilize protective gear. It is quite unfortunate that 5 youngsters died in this manner, he stated. Airport workers' drug trial to continue April 11. A detective sergeant of police remains the sole witness to give evidence in the ongoing trial of 3 Sangsa International Airport employees accused of smuggling more than 11 kilograms of cocaine onto a flight destined for Canada. After his absence led to the trial being postponed on February 21, Detective Sergeant James Stars of the Jamaica Constable Force Narcotic Division took the stand on Tuesday. He is expected to continue giving testimony when the matter is again before the court on April 11. Andrew Wade, Brillian Reed, and Romain Kerr, whose trial began in the St. James Parish Court on November 16 last year, had their bails extended until then. It is alleged that on October 10, 2021, the defendants were serving a Songwing airline flight due to depart from the Sangsters International Airport in Montego Bay when they conspired and placed a bag with 11.4 kilograms of cocaine valued at $88.1 million on board the aircraft. The cocaine was intercepted at the Toronto Pearson International Airport in Canada, and one person was arrested in connection with the seizure. Following high-level investigations, the 3 St. James residents were also arrested and charged. Wade, a 43-year-old security supervisor, is charged with possession of criminal property, as well as aiding and abetting. Reed, a 23-year-old aviation security officer, is charged with breaching the Civil Aviation Act. Meanwhile, Kerr, a 35-year-old ramp attendant, is charged with possession of, dealing in, and attempting to export cocaine. A 4th accused was freed after the prosecution elected to drop the conspiracy charge against all of the defendants. From groundsman to district constable to police constable.
I'm Darren Drummond. I just graduated today. I was a gardener working at MPCJ. Before I was a gardener, I didn't even know how to do the work, but I wanted a work, and I came and got a job at Medical Services Branch as a gardener. While working at Medical Services Branch, I got encouraged by the police officers and civilian alike around the compound that I could do better than a gardener. They introduced me to a lot of things, and they encouraged me to go back to school, which I did. I went back to school and I was successful in getting a few subjects, and then I tried out for the district constable, which I was successful. I got through, and they encouraged me again further, and they encouraged me and said that I could do better. I could become a constable. Each and every day they saw me, they said I could be a constable. Every instructor, every civilian, they said that I could go forward, which I tried. I was successful. I enlisted on March 2022 at Camp Verley, and I began my training on 28 to be exact. Whilst training, I picked up a lot of skills and a lot of discipline because the organization itself requires discipline. I got a lot of encouragement. I was very happy to be a part of something that was meaningful, especially in this time and age, because there's not a lot of things that are meaningful again. And I see that the Jamaica Constable Force is something that's meaningful because it's a force for good. As I said, I just graduated and I am so happy and I am so glad. Right now I am overjoyed. You might not see me crying, but I'm crying inside with the tears of joy. I'm looking around now and I'm seeing some of my favorite instructors, some of the persons right now that have encouraged me and that have pushed me, even with tough love. I remember one time the SPO gave this to me, I will push you to your edge and bring you back. And it meant something to me because I know that I did not know my limit until somebody assisted me to push. I am very happy for this moment and I thank each and every one of the persons, both from Medical Services Branch and the National Police College of Jamaica, for giving me the opportunity to fulfill my dream and being somebody in life.
Thank you.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for